All right, I see our cabin, but it looks like there is a major issue. Let me show you. Oh, here's our cabin, guys. Although it looks like we have a pretty serious problem here. Let's see. Yep, I don't really think that the scooter is gonna make it up the steps. So, definitely a problem. Another issue with accessibility. Honestly, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We were promised an accessible cabin when we called and made the reservation, but as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, and I can barely walk a few steps on flat land, so I don't know how this is gonna work. So like I said, guys, there are 2 accessible DVC cabins currently. This one right here is occupied. I can clearly see that there is a scooter there. But let me show you the kicker. This one here is the one that you can see out of our window. And apparently we were displaced out of the accessible cabin because they had to paint it. So that makes me very angry. When you have an accessible reservation, you need to honor that, and you can put off the painting to another day. Like, this just really makes me upset. Like, we have been struggling in this cabin up and down the steps. It has been a nightmare. It has not been relaxing at all. And this could have made all the difference. This would have helped us so much. So Disney really needs to get it together. And it sounds like, more than anything, that Disney Vacation Club is the problem. You know, we spoke to them in our YouTube video yesterday. You could clearly hear them say, yes, we have you down for an accessible room. But when we got here, they said they didn't have anything available. Well, clearly this one was available. It just needed to be painted, which I don't understand why it would even have to be painted at this point. These are brand new. These have been open a month. So it should have already been painted before opening, especially the accessible cabins. So something has got to change. This is just absolutely ludicrous. And, you know, we're very upset about it. So we will keep you guys posted and let you know what happens. They're supposed to be trying to find us another accessible accommodation comparable to this, which they were also saying that was going to cost us more points because it's a 1-bedroom. And, you know, this is their mess up. This should not cost us more points. We should not have to pay for their mess up. So I don't know why they think that we should have to do that, but this is the situation, and it makes me actually more upset than I was yesterday. So yeah, it sucks. So here's actually another thing that I want to point out that's actually an issue for us with the ECVs, beyond the ramp situation, but it also has to do with the ramp. There are actually 2 plugs right here, the end of the cabin. But with the truck being in the driveway, it's very difficult to maneuver charging 2 scooters. And the situation with the ramp is there is actually a plug on the outside of the cabin. Like, even if we didn't take the scooters inside the cabin, we could at least pull them up next to the cabin and charge both of them very easily. But there's just, it seems like it's just challenge after challenge. And also, if you notice, there's quite a drop off here. Like, if one of us were to scoot over this overhang here, it's probably a good 6 inches at some point. Could get pretty injured. So here comes Lisa. She's actually trying to navigate the patio parking area without falling off that curb there. Meanwhile, there's a whole ramp right next door. Yeah, if you fall out there, like, you're talking serious injuries. Luckily, Lisa's an ace on the scooter. She did it. Made it. Yeah, that is. It's really, it's like, it's at least 6 inches probably in the tallest point. Just wanted to point out also, this parking area is actually larger So there would be room, to navigate your scooters. And oh, what else? It's not as high of a ledge here. So it's not quite so dangerous if you are in a wheelchair or a scooter. Just wanted to point that out to you guys too. What's going on, guys? So this is actually a follow-up video to a previous video that we posted. If you didn't see that video, please go back and check it out. It's called Huge Problem at the New DVC Cabins, or something along those lines. So first and foremost, thank you to everyone who has watched the previous video on TikTok and here on YouTube. We never expected that kind of impact. We didn't expect that many people to watch it. We do know that accessibility has been a big problem recently surrounding the parks with the DOS system and all the changes that have taken place with that. But we just felt like everybody should know what was going on here. So we've gotten a lot of questions, and I'm going to try to address some of those questions. But first off, we also have been talking to some different people around the resort and also with Disney Vacation Club. So let me tell you what I found out from them first and foremost, and then I'll get into some of the questions or comments that we want to address as well. So first of all, I never put this video out with the intent of being like an advocate for disabilities or, like my whole situation. I mean, I've had disabilities, but a couple months back, I came very close to losing my life, and I still don't like to consider myself disabled, but at this point I am. Some of us, let's face it, we're disabled temporarily, and some of us are disabled permanently. Doesn't really matter your situation. If you happen to be disabled, when you come to Walt Disney World, they need to provide accessible accommodations, period. So that's what I'm going to say about that. While I'm still pretty strong, my knees are really bad, and it's hard for me to walk more than a couple steps. So it's been very challenging, but Disney has always been our happy place. It's still our happy place. We're hoping some things will change sooner than later, but we just thought it was important to address these issues. So first and foremost, we did find out that the legacy cabins or the previous Disney cabins at Fort Wilderness here, not the new ones, not the Disney Vacation Club cabins, all of the accessible cabins previously had an accessibility ramp. It didn't matter whether it was for hearing impaired or there were several categories. It didn't matter. We spoke to them today at Fort Wilderness. They said every single cabin for handicap accessibility included a ramp. So that is now changed. The categories have now changed. This is very recent. This is DVC's doing. Fort Wilderness told us they have absolutely nothing to do with it. They have no say. This is all on Disney Vacation Club. So that is a big issue. It sounds like Fort Wilderness is saying basically their hands are tied. However, the problem comes with DVC because they told us once you check into the resort, it's no longer their problem. They can't do anything. So I feel like this situation was a lot of pass the buck. And, I get it. It's the cabins here are all, this is a new situation. Like previously they were a certain way and then that's changed. But the people who are working at Disney Vacation Club clearly didn't know this. And, I think that's where the problem came in. It was a communication issue. But, at the same time, like, what are we supposed to do? Let me just address a couple of the questions and comments that we've received. And yes, I'll answer what they're doing to remedy the situation, but I'll get to that shortly. So I had a couple people suggest, why don't they just build the cabins flat on, like with a patio? Here's the issue with that, and this isn't coming from Disney. This is just coming from me being here. You know, we've stayed at Fort Wilderness so many times, and actually I brought that up. I was like, you know, we've been here many, many times, never had an issue getting an accessible cabin. Now, yes, I've had some of you say they're still building new cabins, so there are going to be more. Currently there are 2. So here's the problem with that I have. If they knew they were going to open it up in phases, don't you think maybe they should have made all of the cabins in this loop accessible? Just a thought, you know, that way if people happen to need a ramp while staying here during the first phase, then, you know, no problem, all of them have ramps. And I actually had somebody who said that ramps don't work well for her. She would rather have the steps. Here's the thing. All cabins that have accessibility ramps also have steps. So there we go. Problem solved. Back to why can't it be built on a flat patio? The reason it can't be built on a flat patio is because these are essentially glorified trailers. They have to be elevated because this is a swampy area. Disney was built on a swamp. If it were to flood, which happens frequently here in the state of Florida, specifically in the swampy areas, then there's going to be wood rot and all kinds of issues. So I'm sure they don't want to have to deal with any kind of structural issues. That's really not an option. It's a great idea, but it wouldn't work. Okay, so I did ask them eventually, are they going to be removing all of the classic legacy cabins? And the answer to that is yes. All of the cabins that we know and love, the ones that were here previously, there are still some here, are going to be removed. It's all going to be Disney Vacation Club cabins. So if any of you have an issue with the accessibility situation, you need to call DVC, whether you own DVC or not, to let them know that this is a serious issue and there need to be more cabins with accessibility accommodations, including a ramp. I feel like if there's, I mean, I understand what, you know, what they were saying when we spoke to them today. Up front, they were saying, well, you know, if you have a hearing issue, you don't necessarily need a ramp. Well, that's true. But I feel like if they have the ramp, then, you know, what's the difference? Like if somebody has a hearing issue, maybe they don't need the ramp. They can use the steps, that's fine. But maybe the ramp would be useful for, say, if you have strollers or if you have a rolling cooler or, you know, whatever the case may be. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's not necessarily just for disabled people, but it definitely helps if you're disabled. So that's how we feel about that. And as always, even though these are all going to be Disney Vacation Club cabins, people can pay cash if they are not all rented out to DVC owners like us. And here's the thing, you don't have to be a DVC owner to stay on points. You can actually rent points from several different places out there. So just wanted you to know that in case you didn't already know. A lot of times it's cheaper too than paying cash, but that's a whole nother subject. A lot of you have been asking, what did they do to resolve the situation? So the whole situation didn't get resolved until maybe 3 hours ago. So it was probably 9 o'clock. I will say that the managers have done a great job to try to resolve this, but at the same time, it's taken a lot of our time. It's been very stressful. So we ended up staying the night last night, and obviously we're here again tonight. We were supposed to move out to a legacy cabin tomorrow, but they did not have any accessible ones at this point. I think they've already been all removed. I'm not sure. At any rate, they didn't have any available for us to stay in tomorrow at this point. So they're actually going to go ahead and move us to the Grand Floridian tomorrow. They offered luggage assistance. They offered to move our ECVs for us, which will be very helpful. And they were able to reserve a walk-in shower room for us, which I think most of them are now at this point, since they've done all the room upgrades. So that's very nice of them to do that for us. They will also be returning half of our points from this stay. This was a 20 point per night stay, so 40 points in total. They're going to return half of those. That seems fair. Like I said, we really wish it would have been resolved sooner. We had a lot of stress with the whole back and forth. It was like our vacation really couldn't get started until, I mean, honestly, tonight, because we were kind of like, are we going to be displaced tomorrow? What's going to happen tomorrow? And the biggest issue was the whole back and forth with Disney Vacation Club and Fort Wilderness Management. Like, it went back and forth and back and forth. And honestly, ultimately, DVC is to blame for this. We feel like they're the ones that are in control with how many cabins receive ramps. And yesterday we were so exhausted by the time we got into our cabin and had our luggage brought in, and we literally were just like, you know what, it's time to take a shower and go to bed and call it a night. We had plans. We were supposed to go to dinner. We had dinner reservations at 1900 Park Fair, which we were so excited about. And I guess now that we're staying at the Grand, we can actually maybe still do that, which will be great because we would love to take you guys there. But we had that, and then also we were going to do the special evening hours that they do for Disney Vacation Club Villa and Deluxe Resort guests. They had that at the Magic Kingdom last night from 11 to 1 a.m. And it didn't happen because we were so exhausted. We're like, we can't even do it. So that makes me really sad, but we're still planning to have at least one Magic Kingdom day. We're not sure what we're doing tomorrow. Maybe Magic Kingdom, maybe Epcot. I don't know. It depends on how seamless our move is over to the Grand Floridian, what time we get moved in and all that good stuff. So we'll see what happens. But we did have a really great day today. In between all the stress and drama, I am going to show you some of what we got into today and hope you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. We went to Animal Kingdom Park and had a delicious dinner at Tusker House. And let me tell you guys, these were some of the best character interactions we have ever had. We've had a lot of character dining previously, and also, you know, like we've been to the parks probably a couple hundred times. So, you know, diehard Disney fans, like, I'm not gonna lie. None of this was ever like, I hate Disney or, you know, shame on Disney. None of this was that. Like, we are huge Disney fans. We're Disney Vacation Club members, obviously. We're annual pass holders since 2007. We were married at Disney, okay? So, we love Disney. But we do feel like some things do need to change. So, if for some reason you thought that we were doing an I Hate Disney video because I got a comment like that, like, this is not that. We love Disney. We've always defended Disney to all of our friends. So, but we absolutely love it here. And I feel like they need to make the accommodations more accessible here at the cabins. So if you're a DVC member and you're seeing this and you have any type of disability, I hope that you share your opinion with them. That's the only way things are going to change. So guys, these are some new buses that they have for accessibility. It actually accommodates 3 scooters, which normally it only accommodated 2. So I don't know if you saw or not, but there's actually a little bar down here, and that secures the scooter. I actually had an incident one time where I was sitting on my scooter and the bus took a sharp turn and it literally flipped my scooter. Luckily, I was able to catch myself, but you know, for some people that aren't as strong, they might not be so lucky. So this is pretty cool. And another little extra added bonus, they actually have charging USBs in the seats. So that's pretty amazing. And I will say, for those of you that are saying that they are trying to get rid of disabled people, this is definitely a step in the right direction. So they actually do need to manually scoot your scooter into the bus. The reason for that, but the bus driver was just telling me, is because some scooters don't have the turning radius to be able to turn or back up and get out of the ramp when the bus arrives, and also makes it a little easier for when you arrive at your destination, you can just scoot right off the bus. Seamless. So we're really excited about this situation. And also, for those of you that don't know, if you happen to need a scooter or a wheelchair and you are able to transfer, you don't necessarily have to stay in your scooter while riding the bus. We will if the bus has more people on it, but currently there's nobody else on the bus, just us. So we decided to take a seat. They have the fold down chairs here. So that's what we're doing. We're on our way to Animal Kingdom, and we'll see you guys there.
There's a mama zebra and her little baby right there. Look at that. How cool is that? He is a couple of months old. He's still very fluffy and fuzzy. The little tiny guys with the dark stripe and the white belly, they kind of look like little Savannah s'mores. They're called springbok, and they get that name because when they're alarmed, they start jumping or springing. Makes sense. Smallest antelope on the reserve, under 3 feet tall, about 80 pounds. Short horns, and the head are called ossicones. Elephants are the largest land animals. Full-grown males can weigh around 12,000 pounds. The herds are made up of females and their young. Called a crash, there is a reason. And again, a couple of rhinos on the right. Now, if you're wondering what separates the rhinos from us, we do have a lot of the tall grass. There's a stick. Ostriches are the largest bird. Yeah, we don't want to live in a world with flying ostriches.
So guys, while we're here at Walt Disney World, we are going to be trying some different snacks throughout the parks and resorts. And today we're at Animal Kingdom. This is Caravan Road, and we're going to try the kakagori. I don't know if you know, but they actually have kakagori also in Epcot in the Japan Pavilion. So really looking forward to this. Never tried the watermelon flavor, and I don't think we've ever had it with the condensed milk. So I'm really excited. Going to show you what it looks like. It's only $5.49, and also it counts as a snack credit. So if you're on the Disney dining plan, you can certainly utilize that. So here it is, guys, and it looks absolutely delicious. Time to taste it. What you got, Lise?
Well, something special. Jen just got this for me, and I've never had this.
We've had it in Japan, but it didn't have the condensed milk on it.
I was going to say there's some kind of special. I'm going to try that first. Sweet.
Yeah?
And then let's go to the red.
It's melting like crazy. It must be 100 degrees out here today, guys. So definitely a good hot day snack.
What is this called?
Watermelon. It's kakagori.
Kakagori. Yeah, look at all the liquid already. Gotta eat quick.
Can't wait to try it.
Oh my God.
We'll see you guys later. So this is something special Disney Vacation Club is doing. It's called Sweet Stop, and it's for the Welcome Home Weeks, and you get a free ice cream. So I got a Mickey ice cream sandwich, and let's see what Lise got. What did you get?
Mickey bar.
Uh-oh, Raptor Mama's gonna be jealous.
I know.
Is that why you got it?
No.
I didn't think so.
And there's no nuts.
Gotta love the Mickey bars.
All broken.
Check it out, guys. We just got our annual pass holder Animal Kingdom magnet. This is so adorable. They just started handing them out yesterday, and they will be doing it through September. So if you're an annual pass holder and you're going to be visiting Walt Disney World, be sure to stop in Animal Kingdom. You can find them in the large gift shop in Dino Land. Go get yours. All right, guys, we are getting ready to head into Tusker House. The architecture is awesome. I'm so excited already. This is a buffet style restaurant. We haven't been here for a few years, so we thought we would bring you guys through. This is a character meal, so we're gonna have a great time. Oh my goodness, look who it is. It's my favorite. So if you guys didn't know, Donald and I share a birthday, which makes him my spirit animal.
Oh my goodness. Awesome.
She always knows how to strike a pose. Hi, Goofy.
I love your outfit too. Very nice. Oh gosh.
Oh
Now I'm
gosh.
embarrassed now. Aw.
Uh-oh. I don't have any. Well, I have macaroni and cheese.
So remember
That sounds like a
great
winner.
view that we had out our window yesterday of the accessible cabin right next door?
I just got all of my food.
This
at the
morning I got to
buffet,
wake up
I
and
just
look at
wanted to
this.
show you what my plate looks
It
like.
was unoccupied
It's pretty
and
full,
somebody
but oh my
was
goodness,
painting
look at this
the
deliciousness.
driveway.
Can't wait to
Seriously,
try it then.
that's why we
You
got
know I
this
had to get some
place.
of that mac and cheese because that is my jam. So Lise, what's going on with your special order?
Chef came over and took my information. So he's making me some special allergy-friendly selections for me, including some vegetables, some meat items. So yay!
Looking forward to taking a look at that when it comes out.
Their tea is very good here.
So is the Disney Coke. Everybody's very excited about your special meal.
And these characters are amazing.
I would say that this is definitely my top character interaction ever.
For sure, very personal.
So if you're back and forth with Tusker House because of the pricing, if you enjoy a good character interaction, 100% do it.
As we celebrate, we invite you to come along. And remember, please stay seated and have your cameras ready.
So Lisa's food just came out and here is her chef. Let's see what we got here. You want to tell us what we have here?
Okay, we have a beautiful steak medium for our beautiful guest, and we have a plain salmon, salt and pepper from scratch, and we have a beautiful broccoli, just salt and pepper as well, and we have a plain chicken, salt and pepper as well.
It looks beautiful.
Wow.
Thank you.
Of course, anytime, come back and visit.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Of course.
Is anybody home? Yeah.
Raining.
Hopefully by the time we're done, it'll be
You don't want to
gone.
go out.
So guys, we are hanging out with one of our favorite animals ever, Nile hippo. You know how much we love them. And I just had to show you guys how graceful are they. FYI, don't know if you guys knew this or not, they are also called the water horse. And that's why they float so gracefully through the water. Kind of like galloping, it's like a very slow gallop. So these guys are silverback gorilla. These are one of Lisa's all-time favorite animals, and it looks like there might be a baby in there. So we're gonna go up and get a closer look.
So friendly to us, right? Like, you know, and all three of those things are really stuff that are like, ours are used to it, but if you are ever in Africa in the Congo, and you see a wild gorilla, don't wave at it, or look at it in the eyes, just look at it. They have names. They do have names. One of them is the Norwegian tree, and the other one is at another facility.
We appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. We love you, and we'll see you again real soon.